Star Citizen Alpha 3.19 and Fleet Week has had a myriad of bugs, some performance issues, stability problems, at least for some. We're going to be talking about that, as well as claim timer drama, with ships now taking ages to recover with much more expensive costs as part of 3.19, and is now the right time for that? I say no, but we'll talk more about that later, as well as some more Fleet Week updates and what's to look forward to for the last few days of this free fly and event. So Cloud Imperium are employing various hotfixes for Star Citizen Alpha 3.19, and they have a 3.19.1 in the works patch-wise. In fact, 3.19.1 is actually on the PTU at the moment, and it's almost entirely a bug fix and performance mini-patch addressing crashes and common 3.19 woes. Now, just for clarity, I'm having a lovely time in 3.19 for the most part. There are some weird issues which I have come across, and there are performance problems. One of the common issues that I was sort of getting was I can't use my inventory on certain servers, but when I spawn in, I press I to open my inventory. If it doesn't open, I server hop, and then typically I don't really have any problems on those servers, or at least ones that are preventing me from playing when I go on those ones that allow me to open my inventory. Anyway, talking about hotfixes and 3.19's current build, Cloud Imperium have said, we've released 15 hotfixes so far since the release of Alpha 3.19, with more on the way as remaining issues become resolved. One thing we'd like to note is that there are very different types of hotfix, and the rollout time varies between on the type of fix being implemented. For example, a hotfix on our services will roll out rather quickly. On the other hand, server-side hotfixes require extra steps to ensure the fix is distributed gracefully and can take longer to complete the rollout to all servers. One hotfix in particular that we deployed yesterday aimed to tackle the infinite inventory loading issue, and initial reports indicate that that was successful. If you're experiencing this one, you should be good to jump back into the game and give it a try. We'll keep you updated as we have more information. Thanks all. So that's really good to hear, because the issue that I was mainly having is now resolved, so I shouldn't have to server hop, hopefully. I did see a follow-up question to Cloud Imperium stating that with, what's up with the 30k recovery? I lost over $1 million worth in Alpha UC in one day because of 30k errors, and the 30k recovery is not working. Not for me, not for my friends either. Please fix this ASAP. It's not fun to constantly lose your progress. CIG Sunny replied to this, sorry that this is happening to you. The team is aware of crash recovery issues and is actively working on a fix. We'll update you all soon as we have more information. So hopefully that stuff will be resolved in the very short term if it hasn't been already. A lot of players are requesting that Cloud Imperium re-enable the character repair tool as well. So now Cloud Imperium have basically said the character repair tool is currently offline to address some issues that have been noted. CIG go on to say that there is no ETA for when this will be available again, but our teams are working to sort this out the quickest and safest way possible. Please bear with us, as we know that this is super frustrating for all involved. I do believe that enabling this tool, which basically allows you to reset your character state and will repair your character state, could cause a lot of short-term server and database issues, and as the game is currently in the middle of a big free fly, it makes sense for them to wait. The inability to repair or reset your character is really annoying, especially for some issues that you could just go, oh, I know how to fix this, or this is probably quite a quick fix, reset my character. Now you have to contact sort of customer support to get that done, and hopefully that will be re-enabled in the near future. Something a lot of players want addressed as well are claim timers. So, for people that don't know, 3.19, Cloud Imperium went, we're going to make claim timers for ships longer, and the sort of expedited fees more expensive. This ranges from minutes longer to hours longer. The issue here is they're trying to add what I would deem a more developed system to a game that has a load of bugs, a load of problems, and doesn't have a lot of its core systems in. Cloud Imperium at least say, and they should also mean this, they want us to test and play the game as much as possible to give sort of, while it's in alpha, while it's in beta, whatever, to get as much data and feedback as possible. And yes, they probably want some data and feedback on what is appropriate lengths for claim timers for ships, but that is something that you want to find with insurance, with claim timers and all that stuff later in the project, once you have much more of the core of the gameplay and the combat and actually how these ships perform and how they're supposed to perform against each other, before trying to wedge it in now. The fact that large ships and expensive ships take ages to respawn, that in itself, it wouldn't be bad if the game was released or the game was in a much better state. But because a bug or a 30k or something weird can cause you to lose your ship, and you might only have a couple of ships, one of them might be your big one, well, then you might be waiting for a couple of hours or half an hour, an hour before you can get your ship back. Even if you do spend the very, very expensive expedite costs now. I personally think this is a bit tone deaf of Cloud Imperium in the sort of shorter term. Yes, I want them to be pushing finalized sort of sections of the game where possible, but long sort of claim timers really at the moment gets in the way of us playing the game. And when you're suffering from lots and lots of bugs or problems, or your build's not particularly stable, well, that can just be soul destroying. This isn't going to help with the capture of other bugs and other testing if everyone's waiting or not playing because they can't be asked to wait. I would personally like to see, at least in the short term, very short timers for all ships, potentially even shorter than they were previously. The ability when you expedite a ship that you can just pay a lot. Maybe there's a couple of levels of expedite. You can pay a lot or a little bit. If you pay a lot, you get it back almost instantly, whatever it is, ship-wise. And this would only be a temporary solution until the game is a lot more developed and they've got Death of a Spaceman. They've got reasons to have insurance in a game. And waiting actually becomes more part of the gameplay experience rather than just something they go, well, now you've got to wait. Why? Because we're testing it. You can't tell me they're testing people's patience. Great when fully developed, and we've got more of a game. At the moment, far too soon for it. I am interested to know what you think, though. You are more than willing to have different points of view than me. I am unlikely to be swayed on this in the short term, but I will respect your point of view if you have a different one. CIG's Xylo did recently talk about sort of ship claim timer stuff and said, at the core of Star Citizen's development is the commitment to creating an immersive and engaging experience. As we continue to refine the game, we often find ourselves tweaking various aspects to strike the delicate balance between realism, challenge, and enjoyment. The recent adjustments to respawn timers were simply a part of this ongoing iterative process, and they are by no means final. Experimenting with different values allows us to gather valuable data and insights, enabling us to make informed decisions when balancing. We are fully aware of the concerns raised regarding the length of the new respawn timers, especially when considering the possibility of losing your ship due to something outside your control. There's a fair bit of focus on tightening things up in this area, and we expect to make another round or two of changes soon. As always, we'll take all factors into consideration, including the state of the game, other potential ship loss scenarios, and the overall gameplay experience. I hope CIG do, because I hate waiting for waiting's sake. That's what it feels like to me anyway. Fleet Week! So one of the issues in 3.19's Fleet Week at the moment is too many NPCs. Hopefully a hotfix has already been deployed to solve this, but there were just loads of NPCs piling up everywhere in 3.19, from the expo hall to under the expo hall to prisons, just sort of points of interest everywhere. Now, I do want to talk about the funding and what's going on for the rest of Fleet Week. All the Idris and Javelins are now sold out. That's not really notable normally, but the fact they were still on sale like 12 hours after the final wave was launched for them, that's strange because normally they sell out in seconds. It was the War Bond one, so it had to be sort of like fresh money, and all the other ones sold out pretty quick. And they are now sold out, so I suppose that's irrelevant, seeing that they do all sell. CIG have raised well over 10 million so far this Fleet Week. I think it's unlikely that they're going to break last year's record for May of 21 million for the month, but it's possible that with the sort of new vehicles and rest of Fleet Week, that could surprise me. I'm more expecting sort of like a $15 million total. It's probably in the running for the second best Fleet Week. So what have we got on for the rest of the week? So later on the 25th, so later today at time recording, we've got Tumbril, RSI, Origin, and Consolidated Outlands and Argo all taking the stage at the Expo Hall. So loads of stuff on sale. Why so many? Well, because they've only got a small amount of military offerings each. They'll actually be appearing at the hall and on sale on the website. But we do have the release of the Lynx and the concept sale of the Storm. So that'll be exciting. We will go over those once we see them. We'll probably do two separate videos, one of more of an expo tour in general, like we normally do on the new days, and then we'll look at the Lynx and Storm in a separate video. On the 27th, we have Drake DefenseCon starting, so this is at the sort of space port rather than at the actual expo hall. You're going to be able to rent all previous ships from the kiosks there, but also see all the Drake offerings. The 29th is the finale, and I think they sort of focus more on FPS armor and weapons typically, and then obviously on the 30th, we're done. It's over. Fleet Week done. Make sure you get involved with the Free Fly, the Javelin Tour, the Military Parade. You can see a Bengal, Javelin, Idris, F8, and F7A all flying around those cool military ships. Just visiting those points of interest, the sort of expo, you can see a load of lore and cool little scenes there. And there are extra cargo missions with or at least commodities that you can purchase and sell, like party favors and that sort of jazz at the moment too, as part of this sort of in-game event. So just bear that all in mind. Get involved with Fleet Week if you can. And I'm really interested to know what you think. Have you been enjoying 3.19? Are you playing 3.19.1 on the PTU? What are you thinking of Fleet Week? Have you picked up any ships? Did you get an Idris or Javelin, or do you know someone that did? What are your views on the claim timer stuff at the moment for 3.19? Do you not care? Do you have loads of ships and not care? Do you only have starter ships because the timers on starter ships are still, assuming they are just starters, are still pretty quick? Do you only have a couple of ships and it really annoys you because you have to wait for so long? Are you excited by the links or the storm? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but give him a NordVPN subscription using nordvpn.com/BoredGamer or the links below, and he'll browse the internet more safely and with greater accessibility for a lifetime, or at least until his subscription ends. He can then shop for his own fish from places like Tesco's, Walmart, or Asda or something. It also makes a fantastic gift. Next time you go to a dinner party or a wedding, bring them a NordVPN subscription. Bam! You'll be the talk of the town, and it's certainly better than bringing a fish. Please remember to like and subscribe, and if you'd like to go further to support the channel, then use that join button under my videos or the Patreon links below. That would be amazing. It goes a long way to helping Zin and I be able to create daily videos, and you'll get some exclusive perks, including some videos, posts, and polls to help guide the channel. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For May, it's for an Origin 400i, the luxury exploration touring ship capable of taking 3 crew to distant stars. It also comes with lifetime insurance and a Star Citizen game package. To be in for a chance of winning that, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details down below. Thanks very much for watching. I hope to see you in the verse.